everybody. How are you? I hope that your day is going well and you are enjoying the blessings of the Lord. I am here with another spiritual insight word for you, still on this topic of the Twin Flame series. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. And if this is a return visit for you, thank you so much for joining us for another word. So today's topic, I am going to be talking about why twin flames exist, what is the purpose for them, and if you're a twin flame, what do you need to know about why you're going through this experience. That is my topic for today. So hopefully you will learn something from it. That is why I'm sharing it. Okay, so we've talked about what twin flames are, how the relationship is, and we've established in previous videos that it is actually not the plan of God. It is not from the kingdom of heaven, and it has a lot of tendencies from the kingdom of darkness. So we've established that. So as a born-again Christian person, if you find yourself in this sort of a situation, what do you need to know? Why are you going through this? That is the first question. So why you're going through it is so that you can become victorious, so that you can overcome this, because this is something that you have to overcome in your life. And it is something that has probably been set into motion way before you were born. And because to everything there is a purpose. God is a God of order, and God is a God of purpose. So that was set in place that you would be born and you would go through this. Okay, so it is not something that just happened by chance. It is not something that just happened by a mistake, or something that you've done and now this is the result of it. No, it's something that is connected to your purpose. So it's something that you have to go through. Okay, and then the second thing is why you, or why that other person. So this has a lot to do with God's principles and God's commands for how we need to live our life on this earth. And so you will see that a lot of the people that have experienced or are experiencing this twin flame phenomena or connection are people that have been in very toxic families. So they come from families that have a lot of issues, a lot of toxicity, a lot of negative things happening in that family, and not only in that particular immediate family alone, but it is generational. So there's a lot of generational curses that are present in those families, like major issues. And so out of those type of families, then there's one person who comes out and then they experience this this phenomena of the twin flame. And I'm going to talk about how they even get to start experiencing this, because there's things that start to trigger, or things that are triggered that then set this in motion. But the first thing, the origin of it, is that there's generational curses involved. You find that the presence of generational curses is the what, and the impact of those generational curses are what you see with those families, the characteristics of those families. You will see a lot of maybe sometimes it's poverty. There's a lot of poverty, abject poverty in that family. You will see a lot of spirit of limitation in that family, like no one can get ahead, nobody can really make a good life for themselves. Either you will see disease, a lot of certain disease that are just present in that family, whether it's cancers, high blood pressure, diabetes, that there will be certain characteristics that affect many members of that family that will tell you that there is generational curses going on in this family. And then from such a family, a twin flame is going to be coming out of that. And so if we have established that, how do these generational curses come about? And especially where it is so serious, it is so extreme. And that is what is responsible for this toxicity in that family, like really, really toxic, difficult families to live in. You find that if it's not immediate, let's say this twin flame, if it's not immediately with their parents, with their immediate family, it would be with their grandparents, or it would be with their great grandparents. But somewhere along their bloodline, there has been idolatry involved, and the effect or the impact of that idolatry, and idolatry here is serving other gods. So whether somebody in their bloodline was involved in the occult, whether somebody in their bloodline was involved with the fraternities, whether it's Freemasonry or Illuminati or other fraternities, whether someone in their bloodline was involved with the dark magic, someone in their bloodline was involved with New Age, someone in their bloodline was involved with other aspects that are considered to be demonic activities, where covenants were forged. Because with the kingdom of darkness, there's always covenants. Like all of these activities will involve certain rituals, and those rituals have covenants attached to them. And it is a covenant between that person who went to involve themselves in those activities and rituals and the kingdom of darkness, so that they can receive whatever they went there to get, whether it was to get out of their poverty, to get wealth, whether it was to restore their health, whether it was, sometimes it's even negative, it's something to harm somebody else or to cause someone else to lose something. But all in all, they visited these places, and they were involved in that activity, either consulting these services or practicing these services, and that is what levied curses on them, but not only them, but their generations to come, as we see in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15, that however, if you do not obey the Lord your God and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come on you and overtake you. And so what that means is, when it says, oh, these curses will overtake you, it means that these curses will not only affect your life, but these curses will affect your future generations, right? Up to the third, fourth generations. God says he will visit the iniquities of your fathers to the third and fourth generations. So that's why we see these generational curses that are just going on from one generation to the other in that family, in that bloodline. And the cause of it is that someone in that family, in that bloodline, went to visit a shrine, or went and involved themselves in demonic activities or occultic activities. They practiced some of these things that God has said they are an abomination. Maybe they went and visited someone who's using tarot cards or divination, a medium or a spiritist or a false prophet, and they forged covenants and those type of things. Usually that idolatry piece that God says for sure he will visit the iniquity of that family, and not only them, that it will follow from generation to generation to the third and the fourth generation. So when that happens, then you start to see that these families become more and more and more toxic, right? Because that covenant is now speaking, it's in effect, it's been operationalized, right? And so out of that situation, there's this particular person, who then starts to notice that something is not right with their family or with how things are going, and they start to become prayerful. They start to pray, they start to have conversations with God to break this pattern. So they begin to pray about their inheritance from God, and they want their life to be different. They want to achieve their God-given purpose. So they start to gravitate towards the things of God, towards the things of the kingdom of light and the kingdom of heaven, in order to change their situation, because they see that in their family, nobody has gone to school, nobody has finished school successfully. Even if they finished school, they have all this good education, they can't get good jobs. There's unemployment, there's poverty, there's disease, there's limitations, there's delay, there's setback, and all these things. So this person is discontented with that situation, and they know that the Bible is telling them that their life should be different, and that they deserve all these good things that they can see other people are having and enjoying. So they begin to have a closer relationship with God, and they begin to have these questions about their life. And so that triggers then, of course, God receives all these prayers. And so that triggers the beginning of this twin flame connection process with those questions, such as, I've been in broken marriages, divorce, breakup, rejection, and all of that. Where is the person you created for me? You created Eve for Adam. You say that you created them 2 by 2. Where is my partner? Where is the person that you created for me? And so we see that those type of questions then begin to trigger that meeting of the twin flame, because now they are asking for this question, they're asking these questions, and they're praying to God. And so with that, then that triggers for them to meet this twin flame. So when they meet this twin flame, remember, they are coming from this family where there's a lot of toxicity, there's a lot of generational curses, there's covenants down in their bloodline that have been made with the kingdom of darkness, and those covenants are still speaking into their life. And so that is the situation. And in most cases, that is also the situation of the other person, their other twin flame partner. And so it's 2 people who are coming from very difficult backgrounds, and they're grappling with these questions that are spiritual questions, right? And they are going to God with their questions, right? And so then this relationship or this connection is of a spiritual nature. So it just means that this person has now stepped into the spiritual realm. It's like a door has been opened, and they're stepping into the spiritual realm in order to see what is there, and in order to address some of those things that are there in the spiritual realm, in order for their physical life to then change. So it is connected with their current situation, the situation of their family, the situation of their bloodline. And it is also connected with their purpose and their destiny and where God wants to take them. But it is part of that process. They have to step into this spiritual realm in order to address some of those things that have happened with them, with their family, and with the spirit that is behind this twin flame. I will talk about that in a later video. So that once they address all these things, the covenants that need to be broken, we'll talk about that another day, and the things that they need to do, how they need to be translated from the kingdom of darkness and into the kingdom of light, and what that means. And they have to do that from the spiritual realm. So that is why the twin flame is just sort of for the people that have experienced it, it's a portal that opens, it's a door that opens, and this person is immersed into the spiritual world. They do not need to be dreaming like other people dream, and in the dreams they see themselves fighting, doing different things, whatever, and that is how they are interacting in the spiritual realm. And when they wake up, sort of, they lose that awareness. But with the twin flame, it is constant, because being in the twin flame connection is in itself being in the spiritual realm. So almost everything you're doing is you're doing it in the spiritual realm. So it's a bit different from other people who only step into that spiritual realm. They get that awareness when they're sleeping, but with the twin flame, you get that awareness when you're wide awake and you're just going about your regular business, that you are also aware of what is happening in the spiritual realm. You don't have to be asleep to experience that. And so I've talked about the why, and really it's because of all those generational curses that are levied on the family based on what maybe an ancestor, a parent, a grandparent involved themselves in, that has brought on that toxicity in the family. And then this person is the one who is trying to fix this situation, trying to deal with this situation from a spiritual perspective, not just working harder, going to school, throwing in more, sending in more resumes and seeing whether they will get jobs. No, this person is actually trying to address it from the spiritual perspective, because the Bible says, focus not on the things that are seen, for they are temporary, but instead focus on the things that are unseen, for they are permanent. So this person, who is a potential twin flame, will be drawn towards that, the things of the spiritual. They'll be more drawn to God and what God is saying, and being more religious or being more spiritual, and having all these questions that they are looking for answers for, and all of that. And then they step into this twin flame sort of connection. They meet somebody, and then they notice that something is very different about this person. It's almost as if this person has the same experience that they have had, but from a different angle or from a different perspective. So if they have faced rejection a lot, that was part of their generational curse, that they will face a lot of rejection everywhere, then this twin flame will be someone who has rejected people a lot. And so they meet someone who sort of mirrors their experience, but it is also a generational curse for that person who's doing those things. So maybe this twin flame would be someone who's been rejected in relationships a lot. Maybe they got divorced or a lot of breakups, and their partners leave before marriage or something. Then they meet someone who has been doing a lot of the abandoning. They have been breaking people's hearts. They have divorced their partner. So that is who they will meet. And then they will also have this telepathy. They will have the spiritual activity between them. So it is then this person will be saying, well, this person has all the qualities that I was looking for, but there's this aspect of them, and I wonder why, if this is the person that God created for me, right? So it is almost like meeting the person that has been causing all these issues, but not for you, for other people. But that is why I said it is spiritual. It is a spirit that is possessing this person that is responsible for those activities. So this twin flame is really coming to confront that spirit, not the person, not the physical person, right? So I mentioned that in the first video, and now you'll see why that is true. So the reason why, again, I just want to conclude this video, the reason why the twin flame exists is to break the cycle of their family, to bring an end to the generational curses that have plagued their family for generation to generation, and really destroyed the quality of life of that twin flame, but also of their family. And it will end with them. They are the ones tasked with breaking this generational curse, with ending it, with confronting the kingdom of darkness once and for all. And after that, as it says in Revelations chapter 12, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So after that, they will have overcome all of that was responsible for all of the trouble, the challenges, the difficulties, so that they can then inherit what God has for them. They can claim their inheritance, right? So that is the reason in a nutshell. So if you are in this type of a relationship, that is the reason. It is part of what you have to go through to achieve your purpose and to achieve your destiny. Your destiny is there, and this is the root. But in the next videos, we will talk about then, with this information, what do you need to do in order to be successful in claiming your inheritance and in actually overcoming the enemy by the blood of the Lamb. Okay, I hope that this was insightful. It is now 20 minutes. I will end there. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Thank you and bye-bye.